All right, here we are with Stanford wide receiver C.J. Williams. So first, let's talk about kind of how was your pro day experience? What do you think kind of most went well for you today?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good day. I mean, a lot of competitive nature out here from the team, and obviously the 13 guys that we had going. I think really elevated each other. I think the team gave us a lot of energy, which is cool. The new staff, which is I'm extremely happy about. So, not a bad day at all. Ran pretty well for what I thought I was going to run. I had some 4.4s out there, so I mean that was the goal. Jumped 10.8, and I put together a really good day as far as the receiver training and things like that. So.
Yeah, for your entire game, obviously you showcased a lot today. What would you say is like the one thing that you really felt like you needed to showcase and you did today?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 40 was the biggest question with me. Like people wanted to see me run 4.4, whether it was the average or even if they had 10 or 15 guys, because we had 30 scouts out here that had the 4.4. I know I had a lot of scouts with the 4.4, and so I'm happy about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how do you kind of feel? What do you feel your major strengths are that you can bring at the next level? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's competitive nature, right? Like I'm a smart football player. I do the right thing. I'm never going to screw the quarterback, and I want that to kind of be who I am. I want to win one-on-one consistently. I think that's the biggest thing I provide to a team. I think I provided for Stanford this year was winning one-on-one. Whether it was, a go ball whenever we needed it, or winning on a slant for third down. That's the thing I think I bring the most, is just winning one-on-one battles. And then also being a smart football player, settling down and helping our quarterback whenever he needs some.
Yeah, obviously you worked really well in the Stanford system. Can you, are there any specific NFL teams that you feel, you'd work really well with, or do you think it'd be anybody?
Yeah, I mean, we ran a pro-style offense this year. I mean, it was my first time doing that really in college, and I think it benefited me a lot. Like the Shrine Bowl, right? I went out there 2 days before the game. They told me if I learned the playbook, then I would play, a lot of the game. I learned it in a matter of 2 days, and I really didn't come out. I had a pretty good showing there, and I'm proud of that. So. That pro-style offense really set me up. I mean, obviously, the obvious one would be like the Jets, right? I ran this offense last year. I excelled at it. That's obviously a good option. I think the Rams would be a very good option as far as with some of the condensed formation things. I think I have a very similar game to Puka in a way and Devontae when I play. I feel like teams like the Niners as well, and teams that, want to consistently move the chains, which I feel like is a majority of the NFL, for sure.
Yeah, talking to your teammate Colin Wright, just talking about the opportunity to practice against him all season.
Yeah.
How much does that kind of help you grow as a receiver, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I came here and I had seen very good DBs in the past as far as when I was a freshman at USC or even when I was at Wisconsin, but I think Colin was head and shoulders above all of them. In my personal opinion, I think he's going to be a great player in the NFL and, have a very long career. And I think playing against him, doing one-on-ones against him, I never got a day where I didn't go against Colin, and I'm grateful for it because that's a high-level DB, and you get to just see where you're at. You get to see where your release game at specifically because he's very patient. And then, when it comes to a point of making competitive plays, because Colin's going to be there sometimes, you just got to make them.
Yeah, throughout the entire day, a lot of Stanford players. Just can you speak a little bit about the brotherhood that every single player pretty much was here, cheering your guys, cheering your name, and clapping for you guys?
Yeah, man, I think something that Stanford has definitely taught me is energy is everything, teamwork, camaraderie, all that stuff really does matter, and I'm going to bring it with me to the next level. And I think Andrew Luck has done a great job of setting that example. Obviously, he was down there every time we ran a 40, telling us good job and just letting us know, we looked good. So for me personally, I'm extremely grateful to go to Stanford and the camaraderie that we had, the energy that they bring every single day, and the guys, the receiver rooms that were out here. Like yesterday, I got baptized, and a majority of the receivers came and celebrated that with me. I think that's just a testament to who we were as a group last year and just who they are as individuals.
Yeah, and just talk about too, just for you, what areas of your game are you most looking to improve on as you kind of get ready for the NFL? What areas do you think you're most going to work on, improve on? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's always. With every receiver in the NFL, I mean, you can point out one or two things. I think the two things for me is on my releases, I just need to be a little bit more sudden. I think I consistently could win on speed releases this year, maybe just because of athletic ability and maybe just being better than some of the DBs, the Cal guy, the North Carolina guy. It didn't really take a whole lot to beat those cats. And then I think using releases at a higher level, being more explosive, sudden, and then at the top of route, running out of them, and staying consistent with that. I think my hands are in a great place. I'm going to gain a little bit of weight going to the next level, so I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah, you transferred a few times in college, USC to Wisconsin to here, and then you're hoping to make the jump to the NFL. How do you think? What do you think are some similarities about going to a new school compared to a pro team?
Yeah, I mean, you come in somewhere and you're the new guy and you got to work. You got to be hungry. And I mean, that's what it was at Stanford. That's what I experienced. Even at Wisconsin, like, you got to work. Nothing's going to be handed to you. And I think that's what my path is going to be. You know, I haven't had the most likely path to the NFL, and I don't know where I'm going to end up. I don't know if I'll get drafted or be at UDFA, but as long as I get my foot in the door, like, I'm not going to let them move it. And I think that's the same thing that you should bring with you from college to the NFL, especially when you transfer as much as, you know, I did, unfortunately.
All right, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.